So, throughout this week, we've been talking about how to calculate and measure success in business. Obviously, in a business calculations class, that's going to be something that's important. But the specifics of what success means and the importance of how you get there is really what's going to drive your business. When it comes to staff, when it comes to your own lives, when it comes to the things you're dealing with your family, it really doesn't matter, because what drives your success and how you make it are all the same. How you manage the chaos that comes in your life, right? Whether it's, we talked about it as change yesterday, a little bit better spelling, but as change, right? That we reframe any kind of stressors that come into your life as some kind of change agent that's designed to push you back towards your purpose. And obviously, you need knowledge, skills, and abilities. In the managerial world, we call them simply KSAs. These are important on several levels, right? Because you need certain knowledge, skills, and abilities to get through anything. You're going to need it to get through school. You need to learn business calculations. Well, the first part of that is teaching you how to understand the language of math. That's where you get your knowledge. Okay? The skills are the practice, and your abilities are how you apply those two things. Everybody has knowledge, skills, and abilities that we learn through life. You can learn them in a book. The best is having a balance of both. Typically, if you were having a conversation that wasn't in a formal tone, we would discuss it as if the best balance is somebody who knows the street and somebody knows the books, right? And what that does is all of the chaos that's gone on in your life, all the stuff you've had to learn to get to where you're at right now has some value, because it's all part of your education. This is what's called the formal education, where you get your knowledge because you want it. The street gives you your knowledge no matter what. The abilities and skills that you get, like we talked yesterday, your soft skills, the requirements, the needs, the physical stuff, they're going to influence your business. They're going to influence who you hire and who you fire. But if you know what kind of business you're going to start, whether it's soccer, textiles, security, whatever it is, and you want to get this thing rolling, you need to know for the kind of people that you're going to select, that you're going to recruit, that they have the knowledge, skills, and abilities that meet the position requirements. If you're looking for a chef, or you're looking for somebody to make something in the soccer industry, you need people that are good at that. You're making shirts, you need somebody that's good in the textile industry. You're making food, you need somebody that can cook. And if you need, let's say we're talking about business calculations, and you need an accountant, right? If you need an accountant, you're not going to measure the success and performance of the accountant based on the way they speak. Because one of the excellent skills and abilities that an accountant might have doesn't necessarily need to be how they articulate their thoughts, right? It's more about whether or not they have the knowledge and the skills to be the accountant you need. Then you can measure out what they're doing based on the effects of their accounting process. Does that make sense? The point is for these knowledge, skills, and abilities, you know the job, you'll know the company because it's yours, you'll know what the position needs because it's your business. And even if you're a manager there at someone else's company, or you're taking a leadership position somewhere with your diploma, right? You want to make sure that the people that are in the positions around you have the knowledge, skills, and abilities they need to perform. What happens if you're working, if you have an organization, right, and you have somebody that has the knowledge and has the skills, but just is slipping up a little bit in how they perform. Do you fire them? Probably not, because it's not easy to find good people. And this is where, as a manager and a leader, this is where you create that competitive advantage. Because you're going to train and develop your people in a way that enhances their knowledge, skills, and abilities that make your business better. The smarter your team, the better they're going to be at solving problems. The more developed and trained their communication process is, their decision-making skills are, the more effective they're going to be at this component of the business. And I would argue that there's not a lot of things more important than an organization's ability to manage change. I would argue that the success in your life revolves around your ability to manage change. And if you didn't think that the need to gain KSAs was important, you wouldn't be in school in the first place. Some kind of change agent puts you here. Your change agents are unique, but that process isn't. Change has put people in school forever. The desire for change has put people in school forever. And these things cost you, right? The lack of certain knowledge, skills, and abilities will certainly cost you. And gaining them will cost you. Of course, it costs you money. Everyone knows that school's not free. It costs you time, it costs you resources. I would argue in the spiritual sense, though, that all of those costs equal a reward later. And based on the chart that we were looking at earlier with the disparity in how much money's made between genders, and then how much money's made for those who have college degrees and diplomas, the cost-benefit analysis of those is great. And the going to school has a purpose then. But you have to want to expand these. And when you live in a world where you are trying to embrace these KSAs, it creates you might have heard this phrase. It's a pretty popular concept in business circles today, that growth mindset. Some of us are forced into it. Some of us try to embrace it. It comes with a thought culture of flexibility, right? We were talking yesterday about the things that happen to you and that you go through have a purpose, and that purpose is to teach you, right? So if you're always thinking about the things that are happening to you have a purpose, and that whatever that purpose is, you're trying to find it. You're trying to find it. You're trying to see what your purpose is, to find what knowledge, skills, and abilities are going to make you the best you. That is the growth mindset. You don't start here and come backwards, right? You have to want to pursue knowledge and skills and abilities. And it's hard to do them all at once, right? I mean, you don't just get on a bike and ride it. You have to learn how a bike works, and then you get the skills to balance it and steer it. And then you have the ability to move it. And then someone comes in to coach and mentor and teach you how to ride that bike better. And then eventually you're into from 2 wheels to 4 wheels. You know what I mean? Your life, your decision-making process, your businesses all work the same. But it's difficult because if I could download this into you, it would be easy. If I would tell you, or if I could tell you that I can give you these certain KSAs and that they're going to gain you these certain outcomes and goals, that would be easy. Well, we don't get it like that. So, you start piece by piece. And this can be getting the knowledge is one of the challenges with college, right? Because you can't force knowledge into people. Right? People have to want to learn. So, getting to a place where you want to learn isn't easy. So, we're talking about the old shoes. Our brains, our thought process. I had this little mountain on the board the other day, right? And your brain, let's say inside your head is shaped like this. Your thoughts start here, and then they just trickle down, right? And these grooves in your brain become your habits, right? Let's just take how you sleep, right? You don't think about how you sleep. You just go to sleep the way you're comfortable because your brain has grooves. It has a habit of wanting to do things. So you start to redevelop how these grooves and how these habits work. But it's not easy. And it's uncomfortable. And the greatest challenge is that you don't have a Joel or a little birdie on the side telling you, hey, psst, you need to rearrange that groove. Because the way we think, our decision-making process has created a sense of security for us. You've gotten to this point in your life by living the way you have. Changing that creates some uncertainty. And because there's that uncertainty, there's some fear. And fear will stifle this growth mindset quick. One of the one of the hidden benefits of coming to school and getting an education that no one can ever tell you you're getting with your contract is confidence. Not the kind of confidence where you walk around like, what? But the kind of confidence where you have faith in your decision-making process. Because everything you're doing is seeking knowledge, skills, and abilities. And because you're seeking these three and this growth mindset, you're becoming a better you. And in that regard, anyone that stops you from being the best you possible shouldn't be in your life. If they're not adding to your knowledge or your skills or your abilities, you got to cut them out. Any questions?